This video is brought to you by the Queen of Wands. We love the Queen of Wands. She is a magical, action-oriented figure who is able to get stuff done through intuition and action and the help of her cute little sidekick. Look at that cute cat. I'm here with my sidekick too. Oscar is my little witch's familiar. Anyway, let's get started. What if the planets in your chart were actually characters in the game of your life? Some were lead characters, some were supporting roles, and some are just waiting in the sidelines for their chance to shine. Today, we're going to start with the star roles, the sun and the moon. Welcome to AstroMagic IRL. My name is Naomi. I am your cosmic companion and everyday alchemist. I'm here to bring astrology to real life to make it more useful and fun for you. Today, we are meeting the luminaries. The luminaries, what? I'm talking about the sun and the moon. These are the two brightest planets. I know the sun's not a planet, but they are the two brightest planets in astrology, and they are the lead characters in this game. In fact, the sun and the moon reveal two sides of one character. You, right? They are actually the two sides, or the many sides really, of the person that you are in this world. So before we get into that, let's review what are the planets in astrology. So think of planets like the players in the game, right? They could be like the little Monopoly icons or avatars in any game that you're playing. And where the houses show where exactly in the game or the zones that the action happens, the planets are the ones who act inside the zones. They're the actors, the actual beings that make the game move forward, right? The luminaries are named the luminaries because they illuminate the sky. The sun illuminates the sky during the day, the moon illuminates the sky during the night, unless it's a new moon. And they represent the actual self in your birth chart. They are also other things that they can represent, like your father or your mother, but we're gonna keep it simple. And today we're gonna focus on how they are the representation of who you actually are and how you operate in the world. So remember I said they're two sides of the same character. So what does that mean? The sun is the visible part of your character. It is the way you shine in the world. It is the way other people actually see you, how you express yourself, your purpose, and your goals. It is also a symbol of the spirit or the essence of who you are. In some sense, it can be seen as your ego. It's the actual person in the driver's seat as you zoom around this chart year after year, making decisions for what you're going to do next and how you're going to behave in the world. The moon, on the other hand, is your inner self. It is what you need in this world to feel okay, to feel present, and to feel taken care of and safe. It is your imagination. It is your dreamscape. It is the things about you that maybe you leave unsaid. Whereas the sun is the thing that people are gonna pick up pretty quickly when they meet you. They really have to get to know your character to understand the moon and that part of you, right? So it's your inner world. It also can be thought of as your emotions and how you actually feel. So if you're behaving from your sun side, you might be thinking or acting like everything is totally fine and I'm happy and everything is copacetic and I'm smiling on the outside, so we're cool. But your moon self may be like, I'm terrified right now. I don't actually like being in front of a camera and audience. Oh no, I'm not talking about my moon, am I? But it's kind of what's happening on the inside, the interiority, if you will. Now, you might remember when we talked about the angular houses, we talked about the ascendant, which is in your first house, right? And I think I probably said something like the ascendant is how you look. It's your avatar. And that is true. It is that moment that you generate your character onto this planet. In the instant you're born, your avatar is created. And in fact, in a lot of astrology traditions, you would use the ascendant to actually see what a person physically looks like. But the sun and the moon actually go deeper, and they take this self, this little core identity, and they give it life. They give it purpose, they give it emotions, they give it drive, right? And forward momentum. So here's an interesting twist. If you were born during the day, you have what is called a day chart, and that means the sun is the prominent luminary in your chart. That means you are a sun-led character. Whereas if you were born at night, the moon is the more prominent luminary in your birth chart. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not both important, because again, you can't have one without the other. The sun and the moon, even if you think about it astronomically, they are related, right? The moon cannot exist without the sun the way we know it. The more prevalent luminary is going to be determined by when you were born. So think about that and take a look at your chart and see whether you're more of a moon-led or a sun-led player. And think about what sign that moon or that sun is in, and whether you identify more with the qualities of the sign where your sun is or the qualities of the sign where your moon is. So I'll just give you a quick example from my chart. I'm a day led character with a sun in Gemini, and that means I am known to be expressive, very adaptable, curious. I like to learn a little bit about a lot of different things. The sun is also in my 9th house, which is spirituality and higher education, so I take a lot of interest in topics of spirituality and traveling and journeying and learning, right? And so I identify very much with my sun in Gemini, whereas my moon is in Leo, and that moon, unaffected by other planets, in Leo is going to take on a desire to have a community, to be seen, and to shine within her community, which is something I'm trying to do with this channel. So, but that's a little secret hope. And whereas my Gemini stuff is very out on my sleeve. So yeah, ask, how do you behave? What is your purpose, and how does it tie to the energy in your birth chart? So next time we're going to talk about the benefics. These are Venus and Jupiter. They're the two helper characters in the game of life, and they bring you joy, pleasure, blessings, good fortune, and great luck, and you can figure out where in your life you're going to have the most joy and blessings if you can locate those two planets in your chart. In the meantime, tell me in the comments, are you more of a sun-led character or a moon-led character? Which side feels like your main power up? And if this series is lighting your imagination, please join my constellation, like and subscribe, and drop a comment. I publish a new video every Thursday, so I am excited to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.